The start pretty much borderline disastrous for Antonio Brown in New England because of a serious off-field complication. We spoke at length about yesterday. He was at practice later in the day wearing number 1 because they've yet to issue him an actual number. I think he really wants to wear number 84 that belongs to Ben Watson. They've yet to get that all worked out. But that is nothing in comparison to the bigger issue that is hovering over Antonio Brown and the New England Patriots. The civil lawsuit for sexual assault and rape, the NFL investigating, the NFL due to speak to the accuser, Brittany Taylor, next week. Chris, yesterday had the involvement of others. This is why coaches, and sometimes I think the word distraction gets used as cover for I just don't want that guy because of whatever the thing is that I'm calling a distraction.
Right.
But we saw yesterday that it does create a distraction because your teammates, your head coach, they get asked about the thing that is related to you. It has nothing to do with them, and they have to spend time worrying about it and talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the point. That's what teams don't want to deal with. And especially out of all the teams in the NFL, we know the New England Patriots are the team, more than anyone that wants to limit distractions. They're so not into the media fanfare or anything. It's all about business, all about play, all about the day's challenge that's ahead, practice, dominate the meetings. So they're so focused, and to have to answer these kind of things, I'm sure is annoying for Belichick and Brady. But at the same time, there'd still be a lot of questions, even if this didn't go down with Antonio Brown. People wanted to ask about his, just fitting in there. This takes it to another level. It's put a national scope on the issue. It's put a national scope on Mr. Kraft and New England Patriots in a bad way. And I think that's probably really annoying to, the higher-ups in that organization as well.
Yeah, the scope was placed on Bill Belichick yesterday when he met with the media. Here is some of what Belichick had to say when he was pressed fairly aggressively by reporters to talk about the Antonio Brown situation. Here's Belichick.
How difficult or frustrating is it to have a distraction like this right at the beginning of the season?
We're working on Miami. We're working on Miami. The rest of it is we're on Miami.
You've had bigger distractions before. Are you confident that this is not going to throw you off track at all?
We're working on Miami. Went through the scouting report, went through the game plan today. We're going to practice for Miami.
Can you tell us at all what Antonio Brown has said to you?
Yeah, I'm done with that. Okay. Anything else on Miami? Any other questions?
Can you explain what you mean when you're done with it? We're just trying to find out if he said anything to you about his position and about the allegation.
Yeah, and I just answered that question.
Well, actually, you did.
Actually, I did.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. We're good.
And that was that. A very short press conference yesterday for Bill Belichick because, look, they wanted him to talk about Antonio Brown. He wasn't interested in talking about Antonio Brown.
That's how you limit distractions, though, right there, because it's a no story. There's no bulletin board material. He says that. His team sees him say those kind of things, so they become robots in the answer as well. And if you wanted to diffuse distractions, nobody does it better than New England. That's how you diffuse it. There's no quotes. There's nothing to talk about. And, here we are just trying to talk about Antonio Brown, but we can't do anything about what Bill Belichick said.
Well, Bill Belichick didn't give us anything that advances the story.
Right,
he did give us that performance that allows us to dissect that. But within the building, and I guess from Antonio Brown's perspective, right, he has to appreciate and respect the fact that Bill Belichick said as little as possible about his situation. It's just different here because this if these allegations are even remotely true, this is a serious situation. That's where I think it becomes a little problematic. And I know some people around the league who think that maybe Belichick should have struck a different tone. And I know how he is, and I know what he does in that setting. It is a military exercise where you keep everything close to your vest, and you don't want to tip your hand on anything, and you want to say as little as possible because anything you say can undermine your broader objectives for that week. Given the subject matter, I think some people would have preferred a different facade, a different
Right.
You still don't have to answer the question. You can still say the same things. But that hard edge that he always has, I don't know how you soften it when you never have anything but that hard edge when you're meeting with the media. I just think the subject matter makes it delicate and complicated, far more complicated than a situation where someone's peppering you with questions about a knee injury.
I mean, you're right about that. I guess what do they like to see? A little bit of a softer side or more remorse or what, just for the severity of the charges and things like that. I mean, I understand that totally. And don't get it messed up. Bill's a stand-up human being. I mean, he's certainly takes these allegations seriously. He does. I mean, he's not into the mistreatment of people. And you could just tell that with the way Bill Belichick treats people. I mean, he just as we've heard Rodney Harrison say, he does not judge anyone. If you've made mistakes in the past, okay, he takes them into account. But when he gets you in there, he does give you a fresh slate and tries to, okay, this is here, this is with me, this is how he's acting with me. So I know he takes the allegations serious, but his job is still to be the head coach of the New England Patriots and get his team ready. And when it comes to press conference, that's kind of part of his job and getting the team ready too. And he treats it with the same manner that he does anything else.
It wasn't just Bill Belichick who spoke to the media yesterday. Quarterback Tom Brady had to face the questions, and he was as interested as Belichick was in talking about the subject. Here's Brady from Wednesday.
Getting right to it, Tom. Do you have any comment at all on the Antonio Brown allegations that are out there?
No.
Not a word to say?
Didn't I just answer that? I'm just trying to show up and play football and try to prepare. Miami's a good team. I'm going to get ready for them, and things that don't involve me, don't involve me.
That was Tom Brady yesterday. And look, from his perspective, he really isn't in a position to say anything. It's really not his job. I don't know that he's the one that you want to ask those questions of, but this is what happens in a situation like this. Everybody who gets put behind a microphone is going to be asked these questions. All right, real quickly on this before we move on. The NFL is investigating. Will Brown play on Sunday? That is an open question. I think ultimately the NFL can do whatever it wants to do. It's got the power to put him on the commissioner exempt list, Chris. And if all else fails, maybe the Patriots decide he's not ready to play, and they can defer all of this until next week when they meet with his accuser. Reportedly, that's when the meeting is going to happen. Brittany Taylor going to talk to the NFL next week, and then maybe the league will get some clarity and can make a decision about what did or didn't happen.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.